public safety is one of my first priorities.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley wants to add 10 deputies to his force. He says 5 deputies should be paid for by the county and the other 5 should be paid for by Palm Coast. Palm Coast Mayor David Alfin suggested the city consider a familiar but at times controversial strategy used by the county to fund school construction to fund law enforcement growth.
I am looking forward to transitioning our historical budget process into a program that would resemble an impact fee structure for public safety that would allow us to keep pace with the growth.
Councilman Ed Danko agreed with the mayor's concept of funding law enforcement differently in the future.
I don't know how many bullets you need. You do. I don't know how many patrol cars you need. I don't know how to do your job. So I think that's an excellent way to fund this. And we give you the money through these fees, impact fees. I like that concept, and you do what you need to do with it.
Staley also appeared receptive to this kind of funding model. Vice Mayor Eddie Branchino called for smart growth.
This year, you ask for 5 deputies. That will be an increase of 13%. If you're going to do it every year for 5 new sheriffs, you're talking about 26% increase in your budget. Has a lot to do with the growth. So when we're talking about smart growth, let's figure this one in, please, because this is very important. And when I said that the sheriffs are worth every penny, with all due respect, teachers also deserve every penny.
Staley is also asking for additional funds to increase starting salaries for deputies who make just under $40,000 a year. Surrounding communities like Daytona Beach, St. John's, and the Florida Highway Patrol are raising starting salaries to $50,000 a year. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. Several arrests are made in connection with the murders of 2 Bunnell teens.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley says the January death of 16-year-old Noah Smith and the May murder of 16-year-old Keymarion Hall resulted from a gang dispute.
The beef resulting in street justice between Bunnell and Palm Coast groups included taunting each other through social media, creating rap songs about each other and specific details that happened during these violent street justice incidents that led up to the murders. This was like a modern-day Hatfield and McCoys between these 2 warring factions of thugs.
Major case detectives worked over 2,500 hours on these investigations, and 7th Judicial Circuit State Attorney R.J. Larissa praised the sheriff's office.
This is a new era of investigation. Social media has got a grip on our young folks today. I hate to use the word because it's politicized so much, but social media is being weaponized by these groups of young kids who I don't think understand or appreciate just what they are doing to their communities.
The 3 suspects are being held without bond. A 4th suspect remains at large. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Rich Petchke.
With economists predicting the U.S. is heading towards a recession, what will that mean for Florida?
Toby Tobin, publisher of GoToby.com and host of Real Estate Matters on WNZF, puts the predicted economic downturn in historical context for us.
It's more like 1981 than it is 2005. That recession was housing driven and construction business driven. And it was easy credit, it was speculation, and we're 180 degrees out of phase with that. The Florida will be more insulated regardless of what happens. The rest of the country, Florida will suffer less. The U.S. will suffer less than the rest of the world because we have a strong economy.
He explains why Florida will be more insulated.
We have the blue to red state migration that started after the pandemic. People are really concerned about health. They're concerned about safety. They're concerned about financial stability. And they're concerned about personal freedom. There are 2 sides to that argument for sure. But all you need is a 2 or 3% increase in one direction or another headed towards Florida, and it ends up being a tsunami by the time it hits here. And that's a long-standing trend. Regardless of what happens in the economy, people are going to want to move here.
Real Estate Matters airs every Saturday morning at 11 on WNZF. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Amy Cherry.
The Grace Community Food Pantry, in partnership with Flagler Broadcasting, are conducting the $1 Million Foodathon. Here's one resident expressing gratitude for the help he receives from the Grace Community Food Pantry.
This is a godsend. This is a good thing for everybody needing food.
There are many in the Flagler County area experiencing unprecedented financial challenges just to make ends meet, like this man.
It helps me out, and I help my neighbors also, that if I get overstock, I share with about 5-6 different families, different houses, and they're so grateful, and I'm so glad because I say God has blessed me, and I will give forward too.
The $1 Million Foodathon will guarantee every local family in need will receive a $100 box of food each week. Local businesses, churches, and organizations are asked to help through July 8th. For more information, send an email to foodathon@flaglerradio.com. What is Narcan and what is it used for?
Renee DeAngelis is now the Narcan administrator for Flagler County Drug Court Foundation, and with good reason.
Almost 5 years ago, my husband and I lost our younger daughter, Savannah, to a drug overdose, and it was laced with fentanyl.
DeAngelis said that when she heard that Flagler County was forming an opioid task force shortly after her daughter's death, she got involved.
We just had to do something and make what happened to Savannah's life matter.
Flagler Health Matters is on the radio on Saturday mornings at 11:30 and anytime on the Flagler radio app. Tomorrow, DeAngelis talks about getting Narcan in the county last year. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.